everyone, welcome back to Taproot TV. I'm Benna Hughes, and today I have Barb Carr with me. How are you doing, Barb?
I'm good. How are you?
We're doing awesome, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
We are going to talk to you about the thing that starts most investigations, or all investigations, and that's your evidence collection. You can't do an investigation without evidence, can you?
No, not a good one.
No.
Not trying to root cause of problems.
Well, tell us a little bit about that. That's her expertise, evidence collection and interviewing techniques. And she's written courses, and she's got webinars and all kinds of things. And we've talked about this a lot in the past. There's so much that goes into it. But just in the evidence gathering part alone, how do you go out and start collecting that, and you're going to bring it back and put it in your SnapCharts and start your investigations?
Yes.
Just a little question.
Just a little bit of a question. Well, in the Taproot process, we always start with a SnapChart, which is simply building a sequence of events that leads to the incident. So you start there, and in the beginning, you might not have a lot of information. You might just have a supervisor's report or a couple witness statements, but it's really important to dig deeper and to keep adding to the SnapChart. A lot of times, it's easy to fall into a trap, and you're in a big hurry, you've got a lot of things to do, you've got to finish this investigation, and you might think, well, I've seen this incident happen before, so I know what happened here.
We don't want you doing that.
Going on your own bias, but if you've seen it happen before, a lot of times that should be your first clue that something is not working.
Right.
So it's time to dig in and collect that information so that you can really identify the right problems that are happening and take those to the root cause tree.
So what's one of the first steps you would do?
First step is always build a SnapChart.
Okay.
Take whatever little bit of information that you have and put it up on the wall or put it in your software and take a look at that and see where are the gaps, where do you need to find more information. And we have a little acronym that we use. It's 3 P's and an R.
Yes.
It's people, paper, physical, and recordings.
Yes.
So you would use that to kind of remind you, okay, what kind of people evidence do I need? Well, I need my interviews. You just don't want to collect a witness statement and go from the witness statement. A witness statement is kind of a stepping stone to review and look at and kind of prepare for an interview, but you always want to talk to people.
Right.
Not just take the statement. Yeah. They'll give you a lot more information if you bring them in for an interview. For paper, activity-specific paper is always good to collect. Was there a procedure? Are there any policies? Was there, anything written down that you can take a look at and add that information to your SnapChart or use the information during your interviews as well. And physical, go out in the field and do a walkthrough, and take some pictures, take some video of those physical things. A lot of things you can't collect, big pieces of equipment, but you can photograph them from different angles.
These days, everybody's photographing everything.
Everything's
photographing and videoing everything. So.
Yeah. And that's part of recordings,
yes.
A video. Do you have any control room video? Is there security video? Because video can give you a lot of good information.
Yes, it can.
So these are things to collect.
So you've started, are you going to start your SnapChart first?
Yes.
And then you're going to go out and start doing these interviews and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we've talked about in the past, a lot of times you may have your frontline people that were there during when the incident happens.
Yes.
Do you like to train them in how to gather evidence if something happens, or what to look for, or things like that?
That's a really good thing to do, and a lot of our clients will do that because some professionals, they're not at every site.
Right.
They have to travel to get there. So if there are people on the investigation team that are on site that know, okay, here's what we do when this incident happens. I have my checklist here of things. I've got to collect these photos. I've got to see if there's any video. I've got to, get my witness statements out.
Yeah.
Because a lot of evidence is fragile and it goes away, especially when people come in and start cleaning things up.
Yes.
And they change the scene.
Memories are fragile.
Memory is fragile, so it's really important to get your witnesses in as soon as possible, or at least get them to fill out that statement.
So you've got your SnapChart, then you go back and you start doing all your gathering of evidence and your interviewing, and then you come back and you put those things into your SnapChart. So
Yes.
your findings into your SnapChart.
Yes, the SnapChart is a living thing. It's not
It is,
something
isn't it?
you just don't put it together. It's like, oh, it's finished. It's actually something that you use. It's the central repository of your entire investigation. So something that you continue to use until you finally create that final report and close out your investigation. So.
Well, missing key data could possibly affect the outcome of the investigation. So it's so key to make sure that you know how to make sure that the data is collected accurately in time, in a very time conscious manner, so that, like she said, so things don't start deteriorating, memories don't start changing, people could start talking to each other, and what they remember can get skewed. I mean,
That's
not
right.
on purpose, but it's just something that's just natural in the way our minds work.
Of course.
And she can teach you so many things about this. Everything from we've done it a lot. The listening skills, your building rapport, your nonverbal communication. Just so many things are involved in this. It's not just go out and ask a few questions and see what happens and take a few pictures.
Yeah.
So how do we teach people how to do this?
We at Taproot, we have lots of ways that you can learn how to do this. I teach a webinar. I do it almost every month, once a month, on interviewing skills. So that's a really simple way.
How long does it last?
It's like 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
And so I go through the Taproot 12-step interviewing process, which is a very good process. And I also talk a little bit about nonverbal behavior at the end, because that's really important to interviewing.
And it's an inexpensive way to get some information. It's not that much. It's on our website. You go to our courses page, and you can find it under webinars there.
You can take the 5-day team leader training course.
Yes.
Because on day
We
2.
think everyone should.
Yeah. On day 2, we talk about interviewing. We go through the 12-step process there, and we talk a little bit about evidence collection. I've got a 2-day course that's only evidence collection.
Yes.
That's coming up pre-summit, and I only offer it as a 2-day once a year. You can have us come on site, and we'll teach it. We can teach it as a 1-day course. So if you're teaching your at your facility the 2-day root cause analysis course, you can add 1 day of evidence collection to that, or you can have it as a 1-day standalone. We've done a lot of those.
Yeah. Well, you said that's a course that you don't have to be Taproot trained to do, right?
No, you don't have to be.
So that's something you can offer to people who might just be in those situations where something's happened and maybe they're in a high risk situation or something. They would be the people that you want to make sure knows how to secure the area or whatever, and things to look for and those kind of things.
We do talk about pre-planning for evidence collection, but we talk about scene management too, and then initial walkthrough, and what types of evidence is fragile, what you should collect first, and we go through interviewing techniques and
it's a real
all the
science.
things. There is a science to it.
It really is.
It's a process.
And you have a book.
And we have a book.
Yeah.
We've got a book with a lot of information in it. So when you come to the evidence collection class, you get the book. If you schedule on site, you get all those books and materials. We got a really nice workbook to refer to. So got a lot of good training.
You've created so many different ways for people to be able to receive this information, because our goal is that everybody has very effective investigations, and that they get to that true root cause, and that this doesn't happen again. So that's our goal, and she's worked really hard to put a lot of this stuff together, so there's multiple ways you can get this information. Our favorite way is the summit, that as a pre-summit course. We have that's coming up March 9th and 10th. It's the pre-summit in Horseshoe Bay, Texas, and then you stay for the additional 3 days for the 11th through the 13th for our global summit, and you even have more sessions in the summit.
Yes.
So
I've got a busy week that week.
You really do. She always does. She's just running around like crazy, and people love her courses. So if you're interested in this, then please go to our website, and you can see all the different ways that you can get this information, how it can be taught in a group. Like I said, publicly, it is only at the pre-summit once a year. Otherwise, we come on site and handle it kind of the way we were talking earlier, add it to something or and for a wide audience for your team members. So, well, thank you, Barb.
You're welcome. Thank you.
She also keeps all of our marketing up and going. So with that in mind, we want to make sure you follow us on all of our social media platforms.
Yes.
We want you to like our channel, subscribe. The notification bells, anytime you see those, hit them so that you get notification of all the information that we send out. And if you're not on our newsletter, because not everybody's on our newsletter.
What?
Because some people haven't. I mean, you're kind of there if you've signed up for our courses and stuff, but you can go to our website and most pages have a place where they can sign up to get it, and then you get notifications for everything, where we're going to be in the world, all things Taproot.
Yes, so you can email us at info@taproot.com.
Yep, that's
Say,
a real easy way to get a
subscribe.
hold of. It really is. Well, thank you, and thank you all for joining us. We'll see you back here next week.